Hello everyone and welcome back to What Makes This Game Awesome. Zombie games are in no shortage right now, so it's quite rare to find one that stands out from the horde of borderline identical first-person zombie shooters. I always loved the genre, and I was just bored of the overused formula, and so when I stumbled across this game, my love for the grimy yet fun atmosphere was rekindled. That's right, today we're talking about Death Road to Canada, and what makes this game awesome. This game has the best soundtrack ever, no questions. Okay, well, maybe a bit of debate, but even still, the music played in the entire game, the music I'm using in the background of this video, is some of the coolest stuff I've ever heard in video games. It's really catchy, and despite a cheerful and energetic mood, it really fits into the game's atmosphere. The graphics are all done in a pixel-arty kind of way, and I don't need to say that I like the way that they look. I mean, come on, I say it in like every video. Anyway, they create a really cool atmosphere to the game, and now we're going to talk about how this game uses that atmosphere to make a truly unique and awesome game. So Death Road to Canada is a game all about making your way to the safe haven of Canada in a zombie apocalypse. It reminds me of the classic Oregon Trail, but set in a zombie apocalypse with an emphasis on choices affecting your specific storyline. You get to design your own characters to play as in the story, and the character creator allows quite a large amount of freedom when choosing your character's look. My friend designed this one of Agent 47, and I was able to make a character that actually looks quite a lot like me despite the pixel art style. You also pick your character's attributes, choosing what they specialize in and where their weaknesses are, allowing for a very unique character specific to you. You choose a team leader who you play as, and then choose a buddy, either controlled by a CPU, or if you want, by a friend via local multiplayer, which I'll talk about later. There are two sections to the main gameplay: decisions and raids. The story is told to you through text and is randomly generated each time you play the game, making for a different experience every time, so it has massive replay value. And here's where the decisions come in. Most of the time, the story will pose you with a hard decision and make you decide what to do. This could be allowing a new member into your party who might betray you, or choosing who stays up to keep watch for zombos. It's really fun, and can heavily affect the story, making you feel responsible for your future. You have to make sure that you have enough food and fuel to keep moving, because if you run out then you have to ditch your car and you can starve to death, which adds a constant pressure on you to make the right decision. But the game never feels too serious, with a slightly jokey mood always present in the background, making it always feel fun to play. It doesn't take characters too seriously either, allowing for crazy personalities to join your group, or just barely copyright-free versions of characters from other popular video games to show up and fight along with you, mocking their personality and just generally having a good time. Now when you begin to run out of food or gas, you'll need to raid somewhere. This cuts to the combat section of the game, where you and your group fight your way through a building or town, trying to collect supplies and not all die at the same time. It has a seemingly very simple combat system that actually has quite a lot of detail put into it, allowing you to throw items at zombies on top of smashing them with weapons that you find randomly strewn about the place or that you buy using food and gas from trader camps. There's a lot of weapons in the game, from ninja stars to chainsaws to sniper rifles and so much more, and all have balanced upsides and downsides to them. For example, a lead pipe does tons of damage but tires you out quickly, which makes you move and attack slower. Kind of important to be able to do that quickly if you're, surrounded by hundreds of goddamn zombies. It's a well-managed combat system, which I personally love. And with so many weapons to choose from, these sections won't get boring either. The looting sections normally place an emphasis on risk and reward. Do I loot that new room? Well, too bad, it was full of zombies. I've always liked the kind of games that make exploring risky but encouraged and rewarded, and it makes you always want to check that one room you missed. But here's an issue with the game. When you move to a different room in co-op mode, only player 1 can walk through the door, and if player 2 isn't right beside them, they'll get left behind, unable to control their character. Their character will walk from their point in the room when you left towards the door, and if there's a zombie in the way, they will walk straight into it and die. It's still playable, but you have to coordinate every single action, so I kinda think that some kind of split screen should be implemented in future updates, as it can result in accidentally trapping your friend in a room full of zombies and killing them, which isn't all that ideal. Anyway, when deciding where to loot, you're often given a choice between a few locations, but sometimes you can get trapped in a final stand, where you have to hold out against a massive horde of zombies for a set amount of time. And these add the randomness to the story that keeps the game stressful, while still being cheerful and fun. Before each raid, you have the option to swap the weapons that you've collected between your characters, and store some for later use, but this also puts them at risk of being stolen, meaning that the story is, to a degree, based on luck. This may annoy some people, but to my knowledge, every situation can be worked around, it's just difficult to do sometimes. While making sure that you make the right decisions, get enough food, ammo, and gas, and making your way through the harsh zombie sections, you also have to keep your group's morale up, making sure not to be too harsh on one character or they might get too annoyed and leave your group. There's a lot of random shit that can happen in the game at any point, and I absolutely love this game's jokey but difficult playstyle. If you want a game that you can play for a bit of fun when your friends come round, a game that's fun to play and fun to watch, then I can recommend this one for you. Death Road to Canada is a great game, giving me some fun single player, multiplayer, and a really cool soundtrack to listen to over and over again until I get bored of it, like I seem to do with every song I like. I love this game's atmosphere, with so many gameplay elements all well balanced with each other, providing a really solid game. Seriously, if you like what you've seen, go check it out on Steam, you won't regret it. Anyway, to answer the important question, the great soundtrack, strong atmosphere, jokey mood, and constant, well-managed stress are what makes this game awesome, adding together to get a really fun, cheerful experience. I wish the multiplayer was a bit better managed, and also allowed online co-op, but I can easily let that slide. Overall, I'd give Death Road to Canada an 8 out of 10, and this would only get higher if the multiplayer was a bit better managed. This one's going in the mag list, I just can't seem to stop coming back to this game, and thanks so much for staying till the end of the video. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more of these kind of reviews, and also let me know what you thought below. To stay up to date, make sure to check out my Facebook and leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video, so see you there.